Welcome to the channel. I'm Hume, and today I'm here with one of my project designers, LeRoy. She was kind of the lead designer on this project. This is the Cunningham house in LeRoy, New York, and we wanted to have you come along for a little bit of a walkthrough.
So we really wanted to emphasize on the main public space of the house. And as you can see, it feels very light and open. So having that be the central part of the house and then the two wings that have the private spaces, it really brings everybody together in the center, which is what the clients really wanted to focus on.
Yeah, and I think having been through the design process, and you always kind of like, when you're doing the design and you're working with an idea like that, it's one thing to like put it on the page and like, you know, think it's going to work out and stuff like that, but it's kind of cool to come back when it's finally built. And this is kind of a cool site because it's got they have 17 acres here. It's a really big site. There's a lot of green space. And you can't, you know, right now we're finishing the grade and whatnot, but once that grade is finished and the landscaping complete, this is going to create just like a really nice sort of space for them to flow out onto the back porch, and the public area is really going to be emphasized, I think. Me personally, I was really happy to see that come to fruition, you know, and to actually see it in the end. I thought that's been my favorite part about this house, actually. We always have particular ideas when we go into a design project of what we would like to see as far as materiality. How do you think that played out with the client in this case?
So the client actually had a very good idea about how they wanted the house to look. This light color palette makes the house look very bright and open, which I think is a very good choice because you can decorate the space however you want.
That's true.
Having a neutral base allows you to just select. You can go a little bit bold with the furniture, or you can go a little bit bold with any decor item that you want to put.
I always said that in my belief is that the architecture is like a backdrop, right? So the architecture should be like a backdrop for life. So if you want to add things like flowers or really nice furniture, that'll just be accentuated by the architecture rather than sort of distract from it or compete with it, right? And I think this house is a pretty good example of that because it is a really beautiful backdrop, I would say. So we wanted to take a minute to just walk you through the house and show you some of the features, some of the parts about the house that we really enjoy, and you can come along with us. So we're standing here at the front entrance. We thought we'd start the walkthrough at the front entrance. It makes the most sense. But tell me, LeRoy, I mean, what were we going for when you enter the space here?
So, well, the main idea here was to have this very nice grand entrance, and when you walk in, you have a very nice view of your backyard. Yeah,
I think that worked out pretty well. We planned it so that the dining space would be just as you first walk in, right? So that's what this will be the table here.
Yep.
Right, and so, you know, hence the reason why you got to watch out for the light and don't want to bump your head, right? And then adjacent to that, we have the kitchen space. So the kitchen space was meant to be really connected to the dining space, and all of this, the living, the dining, the kitchen, to be all one open air space.
So as the kids are doing their homework on the island and the mom is cooking, they could all be together, but still have the space be very family oriented.
Yeah. So this is a huge kitchen, right?
I love it.
I think what I love the most about this kitchen is just the space in between things. So like, you know, normally a kitchen might have 4 feet max, right? In this case, we went with what, was it 5?
I think it was 5 feet, yep.
So that 5 foot dimension gives you just a lot more working space.
Yeah, for 2 people to be simultaneously working. Somebody could be cooking on the stove here, and then somebody else could be prepping food over there, and just to like not bump into each other. So it was nice to have this wide space between the 2 cabinets.
I love the pantry too. They have about a 5 foot by 5 foot pantry, right? Or 5 by 6. Can't quite remember the dimension.
It's 5
but
by 7.
a very large pantry space. Shawn, come check this out. We still have some, we're in the final punch list phase of this build, but, so we have some protectives laid down, but this is the future pantry space that they have. This will be outfitted with cabinetry and countertop and stuff like that. So the family I know is going to love this space for years to come. Probably be one of their favorite rooms, honestly, having that extra space. So we went with white countertops and white cabinets, right? I think that fit within the design objective for Lisa to keep this as clean and light as possible, right?
Clean and bright, just to like open the space up. But then we still added a little bit of texture with the tray ceiling.
Oh,
we
yeah.
have that wood texture tray ceiling. It kind of brings in a pop of color and variety to the space.
Yeah, I think that worked out really nice. So you go from the kitchen, dining room, into the living room space. This is just kind of like a large family gathering space, right? Sort of the same objectives or the same ideas that we had for making the kitchen a little bit larger is the tray ceiling in here as well, right?
And one of the really nice details that I like is around the lip of the tray ceiling, we have a light, which at night you can just have that turned on, have this be like a very nice ambient, like peaceful room, and not have these bright lights shining on you.
Yeah, and then during the day, I think you'll sort of notice in the video, we kind of went with these extra tall windows. They're, what are these, 6 feet?
6
yeah,
feet.
they were 6 feet
3
tall.
by 6, yep.
And the sill height we actually brought down in the main public space as well. So the sill height went down. Our header height remained the same consistently across the entire building, right? We like doing that move because it just sort of opens up and brings that natural light into the public space of the house. And like we said, we are in the public space right now, so.
Another one of my favorite parts of the house is the floor. I just absolutely love the wide plank and the light oaky color. It just adds to that bright atmosphere of the house.
Yeah, and this is
really nice.
Engineered hardwood floor, which I really like because it has almost like a plywood substrate to it, and then a hardwood layer, a really nice thick hardwood layer on the top. And what's nice, and this is a glue and nail down application, so as we're walking through it, there's zero noise. It feels super solid. And yeah, we're really, really happy with this material choice.
I just love the little knots and that dark texture. It kind of blends in with the rest of the color palette of the house.
Yeah, worked out really nice. So the air vents, we wanted there to not be any additional stuff on the floor. So oftentimes you'll see an air grate that will kind of call your attention. We wanted the air grates to be we just wanted to go away, to be within the floor space but not distract the eye. So we went with the flush wood grates that match the floor, and I think that detail worked out pretty nicely. So moving on from the living room, before we go into the bedroom wing, we have the office space here. So up front, on the front side of the house, we have this big, beautiful office space here.
I really like how there's windows on both sides of the room, which brings in a lot of light. It's easier for you to get your work done in.
Yeah, nobody wants to work in a dark hole anyway, right? So, but with the windows, we sort of flip back and forth, right? Playing with the height of the windows. So in this case, we were able to elevate that sill height a little bit so that they can put their desk basically wherever they want in here, right? Yeah, this is going to be a great space.